Hey, how y'all doing? This is Devorjae. Another True 7 on June 1st, probably the last one I'm going to do today. And this is for anyone, in all sense, I'm not trying to say try to be like me, but who are trying to get into the mystical aspect of life and learn mysticism. This is going to be a short video on what it takes basically to do that. And this is when you think of mysticism, it's nothing that someone should be afraid of. It's just being more in tune with your climate and your plane, and more in tune with yourself, to the point that you're so in tune that you unhinge a couple keys, and you unlock things, and you're able to access some stuff and access some things that you may not even want to get back into. But as I was speaking in other videos about frequencies, everyone is locked into a certain frequency, and then how in tune you are with your personal frequency causes you to unlock stuff and shift in other frequencies and unlock abilities. And everyone's psychic, everyone is a god, everyone has supernatural abilities. It's just we're so much in a materialized world, pushed away from it and programmed to not know about those things, that we kind of scare ourselves and go away from those things. But paradoxically, we want those things. We say, "Oh, I wish I could fly. I wish I could levitate. I wish I could float." Well, no, we can, just as all these spiritual masters have, and have spoken books that we can. But yet, paradoxically, in the books that we do read, and we're afraid of that stuff. So, I mean, but that's it. But that's all going to start changing soon, because a lot of people are going to want to be more open to that and understand that they are powerful beings, and getting into that kind of stuff. So, first off, if you want to be a mysticist, these are some things you have to know about yourself. Now, knowing about self is the first key. If your sun, moon, even your rising, your sun, moon, Venus, Mercury, if any of your inner planets are of the, honestly, if you're of any element, you can get these powers. There's just by different means and techniques that you can boost those powers, basically. Like, for instance, if I'm going to describe it, I'm just going to go, because it's so much information to try to put in one, and then try to one by one tell you. I just try not to lose you. First thing is, if you are, it's going to be a little bit easier for air signs to get into this. And the reason it's going to be way easier for air signs to get into it is because they already have a natural air element about them. When air is everywhere, and air sways, it doesn't sway all, but air can sway. That's the point. Air is about communication and getting around. So if you are of Aquarius, if you are of Libra, and if you are of Virgo, and if you are of any of the air elements, you already have the moving ability. You can in somewhat play with the brain already. So that's just your set natural power already. Concentration, basically. Air is all about focusing and information and just getting it out. So if you have any of those air placement within your, not necessarily air. If you are of Aries, if you are a Libra, if you are a Virgo, if you are, those are strong mystic signs, basically, and you kind of have born into a good frequency. Like I said, you're in a set frequency already with different ones, and you're already born into that naturally. So that skill is more apprehendable for you to reach than maybe any other sign. Maybe an earth sign, they can do it too. It's just they're going to be more. It's more easy for them to hold grounds with things and be stern with their power, and maybe move earth elements. Basically, be good with mixtures and potions and mixing things. just to talk about the earth element. But all in all, studying thyself, your chart, you have to get into your birth chart. You have to get into knowing yourself in its plane that it's been born in. Like as I would say, this is your vehicle. You have to learn about the vehicle you're in. Like you're not gonna get on a Chevy PT Cruiser and expect it to drive up a mountain cleanly. That's not what the body was made for. That has been put into that you got in the car for. So you have to understand your vehicle and what it's here for. Like your soul in the body, you have to understand that and understand that there is a blueprint to your skin and your body being here, and look it up, know it, and feel it. Like, okay, this is me. Once you've done that, you know where you're supposed to be. You know your role. You can basically figure out what you need to work with and what you look out for. You need to get into you need to get into numbers and numerology. You need to look up your birth chart and your numbers. And once from that, you find what field you're going, and you can learn how you can use your lofty powers within that field. So once you know your zodiac, you know all that, you really just have to study synchronization in the plane that you're in. And once you've done that, basically you have to get into spiritual practice and enhancing your powers. There's certain things you have to stop eating. There's certain things you have to stop saying. And there's certain things you have to say. And not necessarily, it's all with intent and how you direct the energy. You are the guide. You are the magician. You are the controller. And you have to study. And the more you study, the more you know, the more you lock in, the more you start using what you wrote down, the notes, you start actually using it, put it into practice, you see results. A basketball player doesn't sit on the couch and eat chips all day and doesn't watch any basketball games and watch soccer, and then expects to go into a game do something, to show what he's done. Nothing's going to happen if he's been doing that, sitting on the couch eating chips and watching soccer. If he's been doing push-ups, if he's been watching basketball, if he's been watching techniques, if he's been practicing, if he's been eating fruits, he's going to be in better shape for the act. And it's just common knowledge for that. And it's also believing. And that's behind everything. I preach belief and belief itself. If you believe it, it happens. I've already talked about it in the video. I'm going to even go more into thoughts and belief in another video, because I'm just going to bring videos and videos. But if you really want to be a magician, okay, there's a difference between a magician and a mysticist. If you want to be a mysticist, you have to get into yourself, basically. You have to be into yourself. And it takes a lot of alone time, too. It takes being by yourself. If you're a fire sign, work with the fire element. Work with concentration, because fire and air especially, those are very mystical signs. If you're a fire air sign, you're very mystical indeed already, along with the Virgo and water signs. Waters are psychic signs. All of them fit within the same of having power, but water signs are just going to be more psychic, and the air and fire signs are going to be more mysticist. The earth are magical. They can be more magical. They can. The difference between mysticism is working with the elements that you're in. The difference between magic is just shifting a focus and illusion. Psychics read the minds and the inner body of other people, and that's water. So, if you know your sign, try to practice everything to enhance that. And it's even, like I said, spiritual practices. It's in palmistry. You can, even in your hand, you got the zodiac sign is written even in your hand. Your hand's a map, like literally. And for example, I'll show some of myself. I'm very sensitive about my hand because this is a lot of me. But I'm sure y'all don't study and know about this. But to give a breakdown, just so I can show y'all the power that I do have, that I know I have. If any of you know about Egyptian marks, you know about the Eye of Horus, you know about the eye in general, what it tells. I mean, you always see triangles and eyes. All seeing eyes tell a lot, because eyes see things. Eyes, once you see it, you kind of start going off. And the funny thing about eyes is there are people who are blind, but who can tell what's going on around them and tell you about their whole life and images they couldn't see in their brain. They don't have eyes. Okay, I'm about to end this video in probably about 45 seconds, but just to let y'all know about how I know myself, and I know a lot. If any of you look on your palm, and you see the eye of Horus, or eye with looks like it has eyelashes on it. That means you live here before. You lived the Egyptian past life before. You may have not been a super, but you lived. You were just in civilization at that time. And if you see that eye of Horus symbol anywhere, that's what it tells. You also a fortune teller. You can tell the future thing. You may not know that you can, but if you study it and get intuitive with your brain, you will be able to tell the future, such as I can. And I can do a lot of stuff. I'm gradually just gonna tell you about all this. But look at, hopefully it shows on the camera. My right thumb, your right hand tells what you're doing right now in your life. If you look at my right thumb, I have the eye of Horus right there, which helps me with my psychic pursuits and my mystical pursuits. As you can see, it is an eye, and here are the eyelashes, and there's the eyebrow. And y'all really can see it. Oh well, it's there. I'll see me in person, I'll show it to you. But that's the eye of Horus on your thumb. You can Google this for yourself, all this information, and it will basically tell you right then and there. But yeah, it's 11:11. I'm about to end this video, but I'll continue more and speaking of more things that have to do with mysticism, metaphysicality later. Okay, I got a little bit more time to go in on more things you can do to practice on being a mysticist. I'm just getting a baseline. I'm not going into details to the T what you need to do, but a baseline so you put it in your brain like, oh, okay, I need to study my fucking zodiac chart. Oh, I need to study my palmistry. Okay, I need to look at numbers, numerology. Okay, I need to study what all these symbols and stuff mean. You need to study symbols because you have to realize for anything to come into the words that I'm saying right now, it has to start out as a symbol to translate over into something. So once you get into that stuff, you start breaking it down to bits and pieces, and you pick up that piece. Like, okay, I start with this piece. I know what to put on top of this, so I can tell what I need to do now. And that's all part of becoming a mysticist. It takes yoga. It takes you have to start with your inner body, and it reaches your outer body. You have to meditate. You have to talk to yourself. You have to go within yourself. You have to ask yourself of things and ask other higher beings of things, and believe and hope that they come, and also just know that they come. And that's hard to just let some people know, because some people are born with a natural knowing, some people are born with wisdom, not people are. Wisdom is something you also can gain. You can gain wisdom from me speaking this to you, or from anyone speaking it to you. You can learn anything from anyone. And the fact that someone's telling you something that's so real, something that has truth to it, something that has proof, something that has all of that, just take it into context, man. But I am about to end this. It's getting dark outside. I just had cramming to let even more information be put out and let it be known to people. These videos will come out as well as the others in the future. Visit my website for my styling and my designs, VenusTrineNeptune.format.com. That's VenusTrineNeptune.4ORMAT.com. And that's my styling site. You can also connect through to my True 7, to my other blogs, and to the other things that I do within that site. Also go to my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. It's Ocean Boy D. Ocean Boy, then the letter D. Yeah, guys. As you know, this is True 7, Devorjae. Peace.